The ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States here on our own soil.
Our country is really at an increased threat for a terrorist attack.
In just the past few weeks, multiple foreign terrorist organizations have called for attacks against Americans. We are addressing these threats with a sense of urgency.
Did you know that since Israel attacked Palestine, almost all the Arabic countries in that region, they have turned their backs against Israel? I doubt you did not know about that. Did you know that Iran already started attacking US military camps which are located in that Arabic regions? I doubt you don't know either about that. Are you aware that Yemen, they have declared an open war against Israel? I doubt you don't know anything about that. What about Turkey, who have threatened Israel, telling them that they should cease fire with an immediate effect? If they don't do so, they should be ready to face Turkey, because Turkey does not want to allow any conflict in the Arabic regions. Are you aware about that? Probably you are not. Do you know why? Because CNN, BBC, and all the Western media, they are not talking about it. That's why we're here to discuss that with you. Guys, something terrible is about to happen. The world is about to experience yet another World War III, which is about to happen if the US does not want to stop doing what they are doing around the world, especially in the Arabic region where there is plenty of terrorists. This is a very terrible news for American citizens, as the FBI just give a warning that the US will be attacked by a group of terrorists who are coming from Yemen. They have entered the America already. I'm gonna share up with you some of the footage so that you can get to see for yourself on how the FBI just alert the American citizen to be aware of what is about to come. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section, as we'll be asking a question in this video if this is the World War III that we've been talking about. Both FBI and the Congress came out to alert American citizens, telling them that something is about to happen. And this threat became even more serious after the Yemen defense minister have come on social media to announce that Yemen, they are now at war with Israel. At the same time, on the other side, Iran is busy attacking military troops in the Middle East. Do you know why? Because Iran knows that the conflict, the war between Israel and Palestinians, it has nothing to do with Hamas. Instead, it is them that the US want to attack. They said that they're never gonna leave the USA behind when they start attacking in return, in order for them to stop whatsoever is going on in the Middle East. Now that Yemen, they have decided to be in an open war with Israel, this will not gonna leave Iran behind, because it is all about the region and they want to protect themselves against the US influence in Israel. So guys, Yemen, they're not only training themselves, but as we're talking right now, they have placed their troops already in the position in order for them to start attacking Israel. I'm about to show you the latest video which the Yemen military defense minister, they have just released. I know this is not kind of the news that you want to hear, knowing that okay, we're about to engage ourselves in the World War III. I know no one would like to hear this kind of news, but guys, we are here just to alert you so that you will know what is happening exactly with all these mafias that the West, they've been provoking people around the world. You deserve to know the truth. So I want you to see for yourself this video footage which was released by the Yemen government. Let us watch.
قامت قواتنا المسلحة بإطلاق دفعة كبيرة من الصواريخ البالستية والمجنحة وعدد كبير من الطائرات المسيرة على أهداف مختلفة للعدو الإسرائيلي في الأراضي المحتلة. إن القوات المسلحة اليمنية تؤكد أن هذه العملية هي العملية الثالثة نصرة لإخواننا المظلومين في فلسطين، وتؤكد استمرارها في تنفيذ المزيد من الضربات النوعية بالصواريخ والطائرات المسيرة حتى يتوقف العدوان الإسرائيلي.
This video was released on Monday. On the following day, which was on Tuesday, Yemen was already start launching some of the missiles just to send a strong message to Israel that they are ready to attack them. That was not all. On Wednesday, they launched another missile attack, which was taken down by the US airstrike. Now you see that all the countries that are trying to defend Palestine and Hamas, they are also being attacked by the US. So the US is there in that region to protect Israel from being attacked by its neighbors. Guys, like it or not, right now we could be looking at the World War III. That is the fact. Because the conflict is between Israel and Hamas. But the US have turned it kind of like a regional conflict. And these Arabic countries which are founded in that regions, they don't want to take any nonsense coming from the US. Do you know what they're doing at the moment? They've been crossing the US borders because they know already that attacking US from far is not going to work in their advantage. So they need to be within the US borders in order for them to act. Are you following me? Well, look at here. This is the FBI director and members of Congress. They all come to give a warning to the American citizen that there is a possible terrorist attack which will take place in their soil. But how did they find out about all this? Let us have a listen first to what FBI director and some members of Congress had to say.
Discussions about the most pressing national security threats that what we face and what we're doing to tackle them are always important, but it seems especially well-timed this year with the dangerous implications the very fluid situation in the Middle East has for our homeland security. The reality is that the terrorism threat has been elevated throughout 2023, but the ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole nother level. Since the horrific terrorist attacks committed by Hamas against innocent people in Israel a few weeks ago, we've been working around the clock to support our partners there and to protect Americans here at home. We assess that the actions of Hamas and its allies will serve as an inspiration, the likes of which we haven't seen since ISIS launched its so-called caliphate several years ago. In just the past few weeks, multiple foreign terrorist organizations have called for attacks against Americans and the West. Al-Qaeda issued its most specific call to attack the United States in the last 5 years. ISIS urged its followers to target Jewish communities in the United States and Europe. Hezbollah has publicly expressed its support for Hamas and threatened to attack U.S. interests in the Middle East. And we've seen an increase in attacks on U.S. military bases overseas carried out by militia groups backed by Iran. Here in the United States, our most immediate concern is that violent extremists, individuals or small groups, will draw inspiration from the events in the Middle East to carry out attacks against Americans going about their daily lives. That includes not just homegrown violent extremists inspired by a foreign terrorist organization, but also domestic violent extremists targeting Jewish or Muslim communities. We've already seen that with the individual we arrested last week in Houston who'd been studying how to build bombs and posted online about his support for killing Jews. And with the tragic killing of a 6-year-old Muslim boy in Illinois in what we're investigating as a federal hate crime. But as I said a few moments ago, on top of the homegrown violent extremists and domestic violent extremist threat, we also cannot and do not discount the possibility that Hamas or another foreign terrorist organization may exploit the current conflict to conduct attacks here on our own soil. We have kept our sights on Hamas and have multiple ongoing investigations into individuals affiliated with that foreign terrorist organization. And while historically our Hamas cases have identified individuals located here who are facilitating and financing Hamas's terrorism overseas, we're continuing to scrutinize our intelligence to assess how the threat may be evolving. But it's not just Hamas. As the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, the Iranians, for instance, have directly or by hiring criminals mounted assassination attempts against dissidents and high-ranking current and former U.S. government officials, including right here on American soil. And along those lines, Hezbollah, Iran's primary strategic partner, has a history of seeding operatives and infrastructure, obtaining money and weapons and spying in this country going back years. Given that disturbing history, we are keeping a close eye on what impact recent events may have on those groups' intentions here in the United States and how those intentions might evolve.
So listening to him very well, you will understand that this man is well aware of what they've been doing in that part of Arabic regions, whereby the US is helping Israel. So they know already that here we are not only dealing with Israel. This FBI director is well aware that the US is not in that region only to help Israel to fight Hamas through Palestine, but is also aware of what is up to come. He knows that these people will react. So in other words, you can see that this is fire, but yet you are playing with it, because this is putting the life of billions of US citizens at risk. If you always watch my video, there is this one video we're talking about what is happening in Israel and Palestine, and I had to ask a question saying that these innocent people that they are getting killed in Palestine, they are relatives who get to survive from all this war. What will be their reactions? Do you think that they'll just walk away and keep quiet, not to revenge for their loved ones that they have lost? Because we saw for ourselves some of the victims who were just sitting even inside the church. Some of them, they were sitting at their places, and the next things, they get killed. So those who manage to survive from all this, do you think that this person, if they get a chance to strike back on the US, they will refuse to do so? I'll leave that as a question to you. But after the FBI director had given this warning to the American citizen, since it was in front of the senators, well, they then decided to come also out and give their press conference. What did these Republican senators said? Have a listen.
Well, first I want to thank Senator Cruz and Senator Cornyn for always being so forward in welcoming us to their home state of Texas, and for organizing opportunities for us to go and visit the southern border of the United States with Mexico. We have just returned from our southern border, and it is painfully clear that with Joe Biden's open border policy, our country is really at an increased threat for a terrorist attack. A couple days before we got there, alert border agents were able to seize immigrants carrying with them IEDs, explosive devices really tailor-made for terrorism. They were the size of cannonballs. We went on a midnight patrol on Thursday night and encountered a group of migrants from as far away as Moldova. The one man, in his middle-aged man, was there, said he was traveling as a family. That's because families receive special treatment. He had a young girl with him, maybe about the age of 10, said it was his daughter. She looked scared. There was no sign of affection, and there was no mother. You know, we used to do DNA testing to make sure this really was a family. No, Joe Biden stopped that testing, so now it's much easier to exploit children. You've seen the statistics, over 8 million border crossings, illegal border crossings under Joe Biden. Last month, another all-time high. It's gotten so bad that the Homeland Security has raised the terror threat because so many people are coming in illegally, and there are so many gotaways, people that run and hide in an effort to not be detected. 2 million of those. Look, if only 1 out of every 1,000 of those was a terrorist, you're still talking about thousands of people in this country illegally anywhere they could be. And remember, in terms of 9/11, it only took a dozen terrorists to take down the World Trade Center as well as hit the Pentagon.
So the Republican senators, they did not just sit in their office. Instead, what they did, they went to the borders, which is located between America and Mexico. And what they saw there, obviously they had to put all the blame on Joe Biden, saying that his administrations had failed when it comes to the border securities. They even make a couple of revelations of what they had found over there. For example, when he said that children are not only for the human trafficking, but instead they are even using them, training them for terror attack. Well, guys, after all, these are politicians, and this is a Republican senators. So whether we like it or not, they're not going to have something good to say in behalf of Joe Biden. Same goes also for Joe Biden and his people. They're never going to say something good about Donald Trump. So that is how politics works. But what do we need to take from all this? Because we have to ask ourselves this question to know, why are we about to experience another World War III? Is there not any mechanism that can help us to stop this? How did we get here? Obviously, guys, we get here because the US did not want to mind their own business. They goes around the world as they always do time to time, getting interfere in other countries' politics, affairs. They just want to make their leadership to be known by everyone. Even when the world seek peace, for the USA, they don't want to seek peace, because if the world have to be at peace, the US will never gonna survive. That is the naked truth. They're not gonna survive because they get to survive when there's conflict around the world. Look for an example here. The US, they've been looking for an easy way to attack Iran by all costs, and they never had this chance. But now that they sit down and realize that they're having their partner over there, which is Israel, and Israel seems to have a serious conflict between them and Palestine because of the Palestine land that Israel has been possessing already. So these two nations had to make a deal. And the deal was that, look, you're always looking for a proper way for you to take over the land of Palestine. We're going to help you to do so. But through that conflict, we need to attack Iran so that we'll stop Iran from all the nuclear bomb that they've been producing lately. Remember, the US had even influenced the United Nations to vote against this nuclear bomb that Iran they were about to produce. But yet, Iran is still going ahead with their plan. So the US could not finish what they had started in Ukraine. They already jumped to the Middle East in order for them to put even more conflict there. So those Arabic countries, they don't want to be at conflict because they know how they can be danger toward one another. And that is something that they've been trying to avoid all this time. Now, seeing the US keep on insisting, that is the reason why you see all these Arabic countries, they are now turning their backs toward Israel. Instead, they are busy threatening Israel to cease fire with an immediate effect. If Israel does not want to listen to them, then they are ready to attack Israel with their alliance. So when the FBI is giving this warning, is because they have solid evidence in their possession which shows that the terrorists already entered the US soil. So that's the reason why you see them now, they are kind of like alerting everyone so that they'll know. But guys, your population sit on their own. Why do you have to go and create some troubles and bring it inside the country? Because obviously Yemen, if you want to attack USA, I don't think they have any kind of missile that will reach to the USA. Not even Iran, which seems to be a powerful nation over there. But what they can do is to make sure that they enter the USA borders, so that they'll be able to act or hit the USA from the inside. Now, is it too late to stop all this or not? Of course, it's not too late. All this can be stopped by having a proper conversation, a conversation that can benefit both parts. And above all, try to respect each and every country's sovereignty. Simple as that. If they can apply that, then the world will be at peace. Because at the moment, America is all by itself. All the West countries that we know that always support America, at the moment they are holding themselves. They don't even want to position themselves. I'm talking about France, British, German, Italy, all of them. They don't even want to get involved in these matters so far. Do you know why? Because they can see already that US have the money to spend, and then they don't have money to spend. They have problem which they are facing already. USA came and lied to them so that they will go ahead and attack Russia, and hoping that the war was going to finish in a very short period. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Russia is still existing. They already spent billions and billions of US dollar, and this war in Ukraine and Russia, it had already affected their economy. Things are going down there, especially for those leaders who are in power, and they're supposed to be organizing elections. They are afraid because they might even end up going lost in the elections. Now the next things, here comes the USA bringing another new war on the table, So that's the reason why you see all of them, they are holding back a little bit, observing the US from far, because they can see that they are dealing with a kind of a partner who always want to have the last word to say when it comes to other people matters. Let's hope this warning, maybe it will reach to all Americans in order for them to see a proper way to start meddling in other people's affairs. Otherwise, well, we shall see what will happen. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video, guys. It was very important that we get to discuss with you about what is happening in the world, especially this World War III that is about to take place. That's something that we don't want to see, because the world's been going through already. So all we want is peace. We want peace to reign everywhere. We want innocent people to not die. We want everyone to be at peace. We don't want innocent people to be killed for something that they did not even do. Guys, do us a favor, please, before you leave, give us your thumbs up if you have not done so, and subscribe to the channel so that you get all our videos whenever we are live. We will really do appreciate that. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.